Hi students, today we are talking about comparative adjectives and adverbs. The heading here is comparative and superlative, but there's so much information here, we're going to split it into two videos. So we're not going to talk about anything in this column, only these two columns. Okay, so we're going to focus on comparative. I had an introduction to comparative in the last lesson, and basically, remember, we're comparing to things, to people, or to groups using adjectives and adverbs. So how you make a comparative, this is what you do to change it from the original form to the comparative form. And you do that by recognizing the number of syllables in the adjective or adverb and a couple of other things. So just remember, a syllable is a vowel sound. Okay, not vowel letters, but vowel sounds. So sometimes two vowels make only one sound, like EE says E, or IE says I, but it's two letters. Okay, so we need to talk about those syllables and how they change the adjective. So up here, we're just looking at adjectives, and then down below we get to adverbs. Okay. So if you have a one-syllable adjective, such as old or wise, you just add ER. Okay, my grandfather is older than my grandmother, wise. My friend is wiser than my sister. Okay, so just add ER. When you get to a two-syllable adjective, such as famous, famous, two syllables, pleasant, pleasant. You're not going to add ER necessarily. It depends on the adjective. I think generally use the word more with the two-syllable adjective because it occurs more frequently. There are some two-syllable adjectives, especially the ones that end in Y, where you definitely use ER. But there are others where when you add ER, they sound strange. Okay, so most often you're just going to add more plus the adjective. Michael Jackson was more famous than Lady Gaga. Okay, so here are examples. There are some adjectives where you can choose to add ER or the word more. You choose. Now here they have the word clever, so they're showing you can put an ER or you can say more clever. Now I would never say cleverer, because it sounds horrible. Personally, I would not do that. But so usually those ER words are strange with another ER. So I'm actually surprised about this one. But just know there may be two ways. Consult your dictionary. And as I said, when you have a two-syllable adjective that ends with Y, you generally use, most people use ER, but you have to change the Y to I and add ER. Okay, when you have an adjective with three or more syllables, you don't have choices like you do here. You must add the word more. Don't add ER. Like, this test is more important than last week's test, or this movie is more fascinating than the other one that I watched. Okay, now we do have irregular adjectives where the word changes completely. So, for example, this is a one-syllable adjective, good, but we never say gooder. Like for these, we have to say better. This pie tastes better than that pie. And the word bad is never badder. It changes to the word worse. Okay, my cold is worse than yesterday. Okay, than it was yesterday. All right, and finally at the bottom, we're down to ly adverbs. Remember, adverbs modify verbs, not nouns. So we kind of have just a few rules for adverbs. Usually you just add the word more with the adverb. Carefully becomes more carefully. Slowly becomes more slowly. Now, if the adverb is one syllable, they are used with ER. And then we have irregular adverbs, just like we had some irregular adjectives. Well becomes better. Badly